come. So, every time I go to preschool, she has something new to tell me or to teach me. She's a performer. She's always teaching me this. Any new step today? Any new dance step? None today. And you know what she did to me on St. Nick's breakfast? I went to the hall and I was like, she saw me. She had her Rudolph, the horn and the nose. She came and just transformed me into Rudolph. And you remember that? Right? Good. Okay, let's take you back to Daddy. She's very courageous. Good evening. The readings for this Sunday show both Jesus and Jeremiah facing opposition for speaking God's truth to their contemporaries. They raise interesting questions about why it is that good persons so often suffer at the hands of others and offer encouragement to those who are experiencing this suffering. I suppose many of us in childhood try to do what's right on the assumption that it would win friends and influence people. After all, wouldn't others like a person who keeps his promises, practices kindness and honesty, and does his work faithfully and so on? At some point in our development, however, we began to realize that doing good does not necessarily lead to popularity. Why? For various reasons. First, there are others who get pleasure from practicing some sort of vice, and the very presence of a person who refrains from that vice is a kind of silent rebuke, a prick of the conscience. But to cease their vice would involve the loss of some personal pleasure, so their reaction is to try to drive away the good person whose presence awakens their conscience. Second, to seek the good means to oppose justice. The good person cannot stand by silently while others are abused. Yet there are many in society who profit from the abuse of others. For example, the executives of certain abortion agencies who profit from the killing of unborn children and make huge, generous contributions to political parties that support them, setting up a dynamic of monetary profit and political power. So certain individuals come to have a vested interest in the perpetuation of injustice. Other obvious examples would be the institution of slavery, both in America and elsewhere, and the current worldwide and immensely profitable scourges of human sex trafficking and pornography. The good person cannot be silent in the face of this evil. As Bishop Jeffrey Montforton of Steubenville once said in a homily, silence never helps the victim, only the oppressor. Yet to speak out means to run afoul of those who often wield a great deal of power and wealth gained through devised power and wealth, which enables them to inflict every sort of harm on good people, intimidating them socially or physically, destroying their reputation in the press, suing them, in some cases, even killing them. At other times, good people who are not sympathetic to the evildoer are nonetheless cowed by him or her and will distance themselves or even turn on the one with the courage to denounce the evils the evildoer is perpetuating, lest they suffer in the reprisals that the evildoer unleashes on the courageous one. This is a particularly painful trial for those of us who speaks out. Now, we find ourselves abandoned or attacked even by those we consider friends or family members. This is the perpetual condition of the human race. The reality of sin in our society means that the quest to be like God, to do the good, to attain holiness, will inevitably lead to conflict with others who are not on that quest. In the second reading, St. Paul offers an important balancing perspective to the lessons on persecution from the first reading and the gospel. You see, Satan wants you to be upset about everything and everyone you cannot control. In the face of persecution, it is easy to become bitter, self-righteous, and hateful towards the persecutors. St. Paul reminds us, love does not brood over injury. It bears all things, endures all things. The Christian who simply gives in to self-righteous indignation and condemnation of the wicked in society can become like a resounding gong or a clashing cymbal, a harsh, unpleasant sound that does not speak to the heart. The challenge for us, brothers and sisters, is to learn to suffer persecution while still practicing and showing love. Unlike the people of Nazareth, we have to practice love and remember that the good news is for all people, not our personal possession. Prophets speak out about injustice, yes, but in the hope that all will repent and be saved by entering the love of God.